The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about the insane.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Welcome into another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And this is episode 200.
200.
Wow.
I know.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
You made it this
to you.
far.
Yes, we made it this far. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
And pretty soon it's going to be the 4-year anniversary. That's coming up here in a few weeks.
Yeah, like 6 more or
April
something.
13th, the first day that
Yeah.
we did it is
Wow.
2000. I don't even know what year, 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
Time has flown.
It really has. It really has.
Well, what is our topic today?
Today is what in the UFO?
What the?
What the?
Wow.
What is going on?
Yeah, for real, for
yeah,
real.
Yeah,
Okay, before we get into it, because I'm excited about this one.
I know.
Anything about last week you want to talk about?
Yeah, so last week we did Are You Afraid of Being Happy? And Jessica said, well done. It was a great motivator to get out and create my own happiness this morning. And I love that. And I hope that other listeners went out and did that because really you are the person that creates your happiness. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So I've tried this week a lot to just remind myself to live in the present. Like this is today. You're not going to get today back.
True.
So I've been working on that myself. So.
Yeah, not focus so much on the future.
Yeah, it's hard, but, or the past, really.
Or the
'cause
past.
If you live in the past, that's the worst.
Lately for me, it's been the future, but...
Yeah, me too. But we'll get there.
Yep.
And then every week we answer 2 questions. The first question this week is from Jessica. She says, a few weeks ago, and that's funny because it's a different Jessica than the Jessica that wrote in. How funny. I didn't even realize we had 2. A few days ago, I accidentally kicked my dog, and I'm still doing massive guilt. Do they understand when we are sorry for doing something compared to if it was done on purpose? Yeah. I love that question.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be like intuitively speaking. It's they feel your energy
Immediately.
Yeah.
Especially if you feel bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the worst for like if I accidentally hurt one of my dogs, then I'm like, no, I'm sorry, do guilt all day. They know right off the bat that you feel bad for it. Yeah, and they don't hold any hard feelings as long as you're not doing it for on purpose.
Right.
If you're hurting them on purpose, that's different.
Right.
But on accident, they know.
No.
For sure. Yep. So I hope that answers your question, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Straight to the point, right? Let's see. And then the next question is from Shauna. Let me get the screenshot up here. She said, this whole week has been weird, but I was just doing my mindless TikTok scrolls and I came across a TikTok and this person, not only did they look like my granny, they kind of acted like my granny, but their entire energy. There was a click and it wasn't because of their appearance. Does this happen? So this can be taken in a couple of different ways that like, I do believe that a spirit can kind of commandeer a body and show their personality through the body. I've had it actually happen to me where I've ran into people that I know and their loved one has like immediately, like I felt them. My friend Liz, I ran into her and my whole personality immediately changed because I felt this come over me and it was like they took over me to interact. It was her brother, I believe, and he took over me to interact with, with his sister. Right. So it happens that way for sure. I also have noticed, too, that I feel sometimes energy of people, or we see a lot of, like, doppelgangers. That's another thing. My sister's been seeing that a lot since her mother just passed away recently, and she sees women that look like her mother. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. And not just, like, right before she passed away, but in different stages of her life. Yeah. So I think those are signs that they send us to let us know that they're around.
Yeah. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Even for... myself to remind somebody of somebody they know, in public or something that, and maybe they approach me, maybe they don't. Yeah. But it's like, yes, the moment you sort of think that thought, it's like they're there. Yeah.
And you know what? It's not just like live or dead people. Like we see people all the time that look and act like my brother, Justin. His energy in these people, and it's like, how many kids does his dad have? Because it just feels like the same kind of energy. It's so weird. So that I don't know what that is, but yeah, maybe again that's them showing you, hey, you should reach out to this person, you know, whatever. But yeah, but it's interesting the way energy works.
Yeah,
there's so little that we know about it. It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Yeah. So hope that helps you, Shauna.
Thanks, Shauna.
And then the next thing that we'll do is the reading. So this is for Charlie this week. He says, this is my Uncle Pumpy. He was sick for a while and passed away unexpectedly a few days after Thanksgiving. I wonder, does he have any messages for me or my family? And that's his nickname, Pumpy. But
cool.
His Monroe is his name.
Very cool.
Okay, so let's talk to him. So he tells me, first of all, that he was a lot of fun. He liked to have a good time. And when he got to the other side, that was like the first thing that he did. It was kind of like a party for him. It's so funny because if you've ever seen the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, he reminds me of Leon. Same kind of personality.
I got the same vibe.
Did you really?
That's so funny.
Yeah, totally the same kind of feel. Like he's just funny. He just wanted to be silly, and that was, you know, the way that he. Yeah, too funny. Let's see what else he wants to tell us about himself. He doesn't want anybody feeling sorry for him. His life was what people think is cut short, but it wasn't really, because he's so happy where he is that he just looks at it as that journey was behind him, and he is going to move on to another one later down the line, and he is happy where he is until he waits for that to happen. So he doesn't want anybody feeling sorry for him.
Cool.
Let me give you some messages from him. He says you're a cool guy. He says that you were always one of his favorites, that you guys could have these kinds of talks that he couldn't have with other relatives, and you were more open to things, and he really liked that you were open to things. He's telling me that he didn't know about a lot of your trauma until he got to the other side, and that he's really sorry that you had to deal with some of the things that you dealt with when you were younger. We all deal with things, you know, but I feel like this is a lot about like narcissism and more to do with your father. I'm not sure if this was your father's brother or what, but he's definitely bringing that up, that he really, there were like kind of two sides there to your dad is what I'm seeing. So yeah. Advice there for life is you have a full plate, but you're doing a good job. He wants you to keep moving forward. Whenever you, okay, so they're trying to move you forward and you're putting up resistance, probably because of fear. And so they really want you to kind of let go of that fear. It's hard. It is so hard to surrender that fear and just go with whatever's going to happen. Stop rushing things. Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything's not going to happen right now. You're young. You have so much time ahead of you. Just take things slow and you're going to get to where you need to go, but stop rushing things, because the more that you rush them, the longer this process is going to take. But you are on the right path. He's suggesting that you do some shadow work on your inner child, dealing with those things that you carry over from childhood, and that will help for you to generally be happier and understand the process, that you can't push this process. So,
yeah.
So there you go, Charlie.
Thanks,
Hope
Charlie.
that helped you.
And Monroe.
Yeah, and Monroe, thank you. Okay, and then before we give our info and move on, this is the 200th episode, so I'm going to give away a free reading.
Very cool.
Yeah, you forgot, huh?
I did. For a moment.
Yeah. Okay, drum roll, please.
All right.
Okay. All right, the winner of the free reading is Agnesa Shuka.
Cool.
Yay.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Agnesa. I'm excited to do your reading for you, so please reach out to me, or I'll reach out to you in the next few days and we'll get it set up.
Cool.
And thank you to everyone that entered. It's fun to do. This gives me an opportunity to kind of maybe do a reading for somebody that I might not have a chance to do. Maybe, you know, they can't afford a reading or whatever, or just want to see what I can do for them. So I love being able to do this for people and help.
That's very cool.
So, yeah. Okay, and then I'll give my info real quick.
Yep.
SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. You can find everything there. My blog, my radio show, blah, blah, blah. So, and then you.
Yes, for my art, djonesartcollection.com for the web, at djonesartcollection for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yay.
All right. Episode 200, then, what in the UFO?
I know you're so excited over there. You were like, come on, answer the questions.
I know.
Come on, do the reading. I can
Move.
I could feel your energy. You're like, how long is this going to take? Look at that. We got through it in 10 minutes. So you have 15 minutes to talk about UFO.
That's great. I'll take it.
Okay. So, yeah, what is going on? First of all, what is going on? Like, all over the world, there's been these...
Right.
an increase in sightings, a lot of an increase.
Yes.
Things that we can't explain still, that the United States government is telling us that they don't even know what it is, or they're just not releasing the information. But in the last month and a half, the United States has shot down 4 unidentified flying objects in North American airspace.
No.
The government is hesitant to give us specific answers about what these are and appear to be offering limited information about the objects to the public, leaving many of us understandably wondering what those objects were and why they're not willing to come out and tell us what they were.
Well, some of them hadn't even been retrieved yet.
I think there were a few.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how many, but it was like, oh, couldn't get to it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the weather balloon thing is like, oh my gosh, here we go again. A weather balloon?
Seriously, right? Yeah.
But, maybe it was. Who knows?
Yeah. So all of this has given way to not only the opening of the discussion of UFOs, but also new conspiracy theories, of course, have surfaced. One in particular called Project Bluebeam. And this is what I was telling you about. Let me get to my notes on this. This is the conspiracy theory that there's going to be a holographic invasion. So let me read this to you. Project Bluebeam is reported to be a conspiracy theory that claims that members of the Pentagon, NASA, and the United Nations were collaborating on a plan to simulate a fake alien invasion and staged Second Coming using hologram projections. So there was a book that was written by Serge Monist, I believe is his name, and this is a quote from him from the book. In the year 2024, a global event will alter the course of mankind's future. The world will stand witness to a massive alien invasion. Thousands of projective holographic alien warships will blanket the skies, sending people into global panic. This will be achieved by a secret technology that people are referring to as electric universal supernatural manifestation, device specifically designed by NASA to deceive people, very much like the Heaven's Gate cult that believed a rapture would happen by aliens coming to rescue them. So then this new world order that they're trying to form, right, will use this technology to brainwash people into thinking the alien invasion is hostile in order to keep them in fear and more easily controlled. So this was written in 94, this book. So, is this a prediction? I think that there was one place that I read, but it wasn't in a lot of the articles, that said that this is a reputable source, that this guy's a reputable source, that he has an in somewhere. Right. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've read it. I read about it, and I thought, wow, it's pretty elaborate. And okay, so this invasion, when we start, I sort of go beyond the initial invasion or the thing that they simulate.
Right.
And think to myself, well, so when the general public starts to realize that nothing's landed.
Right.
There's nothing here. What's going on?
Right.
Then what?
Yeah.
So are you trying to get the people to off themselves? Are you trying to get them to run to you?
Yes.
To run away from you? I'm not quite getting that, what the whole concept of that is. When you've been hiding the fact of other intelligent life for decades now in fear of pandemonium.
Right.
But you want to create pandemonium?
Right.
I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past the government. That's the problem I have with this. I don't believe that this is what's actually going to happen, but maybe because it's been debunked or bamboozled or whatever you want to call it. But honestly, at this point, I don't trust anything that they say, and it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, even more recently, not more recently, but the situation that you just referred to at the beginning here, that was like, what, a couple months?
Yeah, like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But even prior to that, I don't know if it's 2020, of the Navy pilots that are, or excuse me, Air Force pilots, they filming, an unidentified object, and it's on the cameras, and that was all over the news and social media and blah, blah, blah. But clearly, these guys themselves, while they're flying and after it, are saying that this is totally unusual, like the speed the thing is going at, the direction it can change, and stuff like that. And then they're kind of releasing what used to be classified documents from the government about UFOs and other things.
Yes.
Is this a coincidence? Is this just a good time to start warming us up to, are they trying to warm us up to the fact of that it's true, or because this simulation thing is going to occur?
Yeah.
Then you have the sighting in Vegas.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Which, that was a few TikToks in that one.
Oh, yeah.
People filming that, and that just stood still virtually, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But looked pretty big. You couldn't really see it. You could just see the lights of it.
Yes.
But it looked pretty big. And then the other thing that's also been real recent in the news is them saying that there's some large mothership type of craft out in our solar system.
Yes.
That somehow they're getting signals back, or they can, through radar or whatever it is. Again, I've even heard that they're saying now they think there's another Earth-like planet in our solar system. There's something large out there. They can't figure out what that is. Is it a planet? Is it a spaceship?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I was looking for what makes them believe that that's a mothership. And in all of these articles that I read, not one said what makes them believe that. Not one has said anything about signals. It's just that
I could
the
have swore I
Pentagon,
read something about that, about signals,
you
but
might
I
have,
could be wrong.
You might have, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I was looking, but everything that I read was just that the Pentagon says that there could be a mothership that would, let off little baby ships to come and do whatever they're going to do. And so I can understand why the conspiracy theorists that believe Project Bluebeam do, because that book was written in 94, and he specifically said in there that this was going to happen in 2024. So what other better way to kind of prepare us for the possibility of an alien invasion than to say that there's a mothership out in the galaxy?
I'm still trying to envision this holographic invasion.
I am too,
so, you're looking up at the sky and you're seeing these planets and you're seeing pew, 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 pew. But nothing's exploding, nothing's happening.
Right, no.
Just,
well, it might not be that.
People running.
See, we relate it to movies, right? We've seen like Independence Day and War of the Worlds, and this is what we expect for an alien invasion to be.
True.
But and again, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, but what if this isn't as crazy as it sounds, and all they're planning to do is just have holographic UFOs, not like anything like they're actually trying to kill us or anything like that, just showing these and making it look like they're real, because it is amazing what technology can do nowadays.
Technology has brought forth the ability for the average civilian to now be able to capture things that only, high dollar instruments and tools could do, and that usually they were owned by governments.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing TikTok videos of somebody shooting the moon with a high powered telescope, and you see 4 large craft fly right over the surface of it, somebody's operating those. Is it from us or is it not?
Yep.
I would probably go as far as to say not.
Yep.
So what happened then in Apollo? What was seen? What's really there?
Right.
And is it really a threat?
Exactly. Is it really a threat? Before the spiritual awakening, I wasn't exactly sure how I felt about this whole concept of aliens and whatnot. Now I am, you couldn't convince me that there's no such thing. I really believe that there are plenty of planets that have other life on them. I don't believe that they mostly want to come here to hurt us. They're not looking to hurt us, but they also have an obligation to the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, whatever, to protect it. And if we're going to do stupid shit, sorry, but if we are, they may have to do something to intervene. I think it's very possible that there will be some kind of, quote, alien invasion in our lifetime. And I don't mean this as them coming down and trying to take over Earth, but I mean it in more of a way of showing themselves to us, of letting us know that they're here. But I just want to put out there, as a psychic, I don't really know a lot of this stuff because I'm not told. I'm only told really what I need to know. And when I ask about these things, I don't usually get a lot of really specific answers here. But one thing that I will tell you is, should there be this holographic invasion and they start talking like this is talking about like literal loudspeakers of things being told to us, like, this is an invasion, this is, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Don't watch the news. Just go about your life. I know it might be hard, but go about your life. Whenever it happens, whether it's the real thing or it's a holographic thing, they're not going to hurt us. I really, really feel that. And we honestly can't hurt them because they're intergalactic. Is that the word I'm looking for? Interstellar? What's the word? Interdimensional.
Well, that they very well could be too,
Yeah, I think they are.
One of the documents that I read that was released by the government was information given to them. Now, often these people they're probably psychic. They have some sort of gift in that area. They have a vision or a message, or they have some sort of what they claimed as a direct connection to another being that's giving them that information.
Right.
The reason the government feels it's necessary, what I could tell, is to even take this person's statement was their background. That they had PhDs, they were like a doctor, they were a smart person.
Dr. Greer, he's one of them.
So in this particular statement that I read, it was a gentleman saying that they were interdimensional beings that were coming here in peace to show us how to stop doing what we're doing. Their concern is for the nuclear issue on our planet. But the way that I got it from what they were saying was that this was, interestingly enough, was the evolutions of humans.
Yeah.
Coming back through another dimension to the past. That's sort of what I was getting from what they were saying, because he said that they said they were us. They were bigger than us, but they looked like us.
Interesting.
And they were explaining that they move dimensionally, so they're not actually in our universe per se.
Right. Yeah.
And they're doing this to there is actually like Federation out there that police the universe and make sure that idiots like us aren't polluting it.
Yep.
And when we start sending nuclear weapons out into space, that presents the possibility of something being spilled into space.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
They'll let us do ourselves in.
Yeah, they don't.
They really would. There, I don't think they want to see that happen, but if it came to it, as long as it doesn't leave this atmosphere.
Yeah.
They're not really, in some ways, not supposed to, I think, intrude in everyday life, but they're very much involved in our evolution.
They are. Yes.
They are. That's what I believe, that there are beings that go around and, in a sense, do scientific projects to make the right life that fits the right atmosphere.
Yes.
And watch it grow. Yep. They're there to seed the universe.
Yep. I agree. So I asked our listeners some questions about this to see what their take was. One thing I said was, there's been a lot going on lately with UFOs around the world. We would love to hear your take on what's going on and what might be coming for all this. Sunshine said, I haven't seen any in Oregon, but I feel in my heart that they are not here to hurt us. Mm-hmm. And I really disapprove of the whole shoot them out of the sky crap you hear. I'd rather like to try to connect with them, but maybe there is more. I don't know. I'm optimistic. Mm-hmm. I agree. And I really feel like if this was a level-headed planet, that's exactly what they would do. They would come here and they would talk to us and they would...
There's a reason that we used to be visited by them.
Yeah.
Why so many of the ancient cultures documented it in paintings and carvings, all these things to show there is other life out there that will help you.
Yep.
The problem is we started getting evolved ourselves and able to create destructive, violent things to hurt one another. And these beings, they don't want to be hurt. So we're viewed as the hotheads.
We are.
So they stay away, but they watch from a distance. Mm-hmm. And they get involved when necessary. I loved her statement about trying to shoot one down.
Yeah.
And I said this earlier, that's like bringing a water gun to a laser beam fight.
It is, totally. What are you going to do?
We're ridiculous.
Yeah, we really are.
You would just be totally disintegrated.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's at all what they want to do to us. No. But they're not going to allow themselves to be hurt and killed, either.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge about where the hell that we could get from these beings. And I'm sure there's more than one civilization that could share this with us is, how the hell did we get here?
Yes, absolutely.
First and foremost.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How do we stop our planet from dying?
Yeah.
And how can we have world peace?
Yeah, absolutely.
And have everything and enough abundance for everybody.
Yep.
How can we do this? Mm-hmm. Share with us.
Yeah.
And I think that they used to, but times have changed.
Yeah.
I think they expected us to pass this knowledge down. And obviously through civilizations and destruction and cataclysmic events, information gets swiped away until it's uncovered again later on. Mm-hmm. And we're so new.
Oh, we're
like so new in this. We're like tadpole kind of phase that we're just now starting to put all these things together of what actually did happen here.
Yeah.
Who are we? Where did we come from? Yeah. And it's enormous.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about beings that are able to fly around in our 3D universe, and then we're talking about beings that can travel interdimensionally, and then we're talking about beings that could come from other universes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of possibilities.
Yep.
I do believe that there's maybe more closer to home kind of other civilizations that watch out for us because they know not only are we kind of hotheads, but we really can't back our smack talking.
No, we
can't back it up.
It's so ridiculous.
So we are kind of protected by maybe some other beings that aren't so friendly.
Yeah. I'd really like to know what they think about us, but we'll get into that because I have more questions here. But what we were just talking about, if anybody had anything they wanted to share. So I had shown you this picture a while back that Hillary had shared. Do you remember this picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can't show you through the episode here, but if you go to the discussion group, Hillary posted under here an amazing picture. Yeah. Okay. And she says, I don't have anything to share, but I do have this that I took last summer. And that was a really interesting experience. I've only shared it with a handful of people, but figured everyone on here might enjoy it. I love the more you look at it, you see there's designs in the sky. I didn't see that in person. And there's literally like what looks like, I don't know. I could probably pick out a half dozen different
balls.
Yeah. What looked like balls of energy.
Yeah.
And this was an amazing picture. So I suggest if anybody's interested that you go look at this one. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So many little things here. That could be a mothership with all
I myself have witnessed it with my own eyes on 3 different occasions. Three different things. So
one day maybe.
And one of them was like that, and it was in Simi Valley. Mm-hmm. It was during the day, but it looked like about 5 to I don't, maybe not more, 5, 10 to 15 glowing balls way up high and just kind of moving around.
Wow. There's so many, and we just discount them as nothing, you know? Frank said, the mass awakening, obviously not here for harm, could have been wiped out long time ago with the gap in intelligence, possibly just gathering info and trying to get our attention. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Jared said, maybe they're waiting to see how bad we destroy ourselves with all this talk of nuclear war. I hope that they're not waiting to see the outcome. I'm really hoping that they just won't allow us to do that. That they will step in and something will happen and they won't allow it. Because it only makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Nancy said, I'm just going to say one thing in regards to UFOs. I'm going to be pissed if my whole life is a hoax and I'm an actor in someone else's play. UFOs are real, and it's a little narcissistic to think that we are the only ones who exist, but I'm sticking with God as opposed to source for guidance. Unidentified alien species are running the show. Sounds like something from the movies. So I don't think at all that this is what's going on. And I'm not exactly sure, where she got that kind of info, but I don't think that that's what's going on. I don't think UFOs are controlling this. Not at all. No. Mm-mm.
No.
And life is not a hoax. A simulation maybe, but not a hoax.
There are beings that can travel interstellarly throughout our universe, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe other universes. But at least the ones in this universe that have figured out how to do this very quickly from point A to point B, I believe, do they control all this? No. They are workers for the creator, the same creator that made you and I. Mm-hmm. They aren't in it for blood or ego. They are in it to do solely the creator's work, and that is to try to keep peace and harmony in the universe and keep life going.
Right.
And keep life growing.
Yeah.
As much as they can.
Yeah.
You look at, and we're talking in regards to Big Bang Theory, that anything that's moving out ahead of us is younger than us.
Yeah.
So there's a ton more of universe that's way younger than the Earth.
Yeah.
That needs to be seeded.
Yeah.
The same kind of theory that looking behind us where the sun would be, if that went out, you'd still have light for a few years before it went black. Mm-hmm. So it's showing you how the time works in space, but also how it's moving out. You've got the younger universe and the older universe.
Right.
So where's all this life coming from?
Yeah. So the next question that I asked our listeners is, do you feel like aliens from other planets are already living among us? And 70% said yes. Mm-hmm. 4% said no, and 26% said, I'm not sure. I believe that they are.
Yeah.
They just blend in. It's not like, they have to look any different. I mean, anything's possible. Mm-hmm. That they, we might not even see them. They might be invisible. We don't know.
Yes.
Anything's possible. Jen said, I honestly think they've been here the whole time. The government just knows that they can't keep it a secret anymore. I also believe something big is coming soon. It's about to get weird. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. Amanda said, I literally had a dream last night that aliens were going to show themselves to us in the very near future, but not to worry, that they are very nice. I remember thinking in my dream what that was going to look like in our world and was excited, anxious to see how it unfolds. Yeah. I am too. To be really honest, I'm not going to panic when it happens. It's not worth it,
No. It's going to rock a lot of people's,
yeah,
foundations because of maybe religion and
yes,
what they were taught. I mean, I even think back and sitting in school in the 70s and the stuff that you would learn and hear about in school and thinking, why, a lot's changed.
Yeah.
Or at least a lot more has been divulged.
Yep.
Since then.
Yep.
I really like Jen's response is that, yeah, this, as a soul, I chose to come back here during this time.
Yeah.
Because so much in this short period of 50 years of this time, there's so much that has happened.
So much, yeah.
I was right there from analog to digital.
Yeah.
And then from space, to space flight, but to now contacting other life.
Yeah.
I think of this episode of Twilight Zone. It was called The Recipe or something. And aliens land on the Earth and everybody's sort of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Kind of pandemonium for a little while, but they don't come out of their ships.
Right.
Until everybody calms down.
That's what I think's going to happen.
And everybody calms down, and finally they come out and they've got this book. And they think that this book is like this, humans think this book is like this secret to life. They're going to share all this wisdom with us. Somehow, through the story, it's translated, and it turns out it's just a cookbook. It's just a recipe book.
That's funny.
And they really weren't here to save us because, you know what? Really, if we're boasting to be that intelligent of a species, we should not need anybody to come in and save us.
No.
We should simply understand we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But we have to do it together.
Yes.
Their intruding on us is only going to be out of benefit to us to keep us from destroying ourselves.
Absolutely. But you said something a little while back about religion, and I really think that that's one of the main reasons why things have not been divulged over the years, because the United States is primarily a Christian country.
Yeah.
And if you blow up that there's aliens and everybody knows there's aliens, what does that do for your religion?
Right.
What does that say about your God? The source, the universe, it all encompasses everything. These gods that people have that are just, one God that just goes for, one group of people. Now you can see that there's a whole other... in that kind of fairy tale kind of story, in some ways it's fairy tale. It's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of it. But examples. It's a more book of examples, not literal. Right.
I think analogies maybe might be one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, well, if this is the center of the universe and God put Adam and Eve on the earth to flourish in all this, and now scientists are saying that just in our galaxy alone, there's something like 6 billion Earth-type planets.
Unbelievable.
So did this happen on every Earth-type planet? Or is every Earth-type planet reading this Bible right now?
Right.
And living this same simulation?
Right.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not.
It doesn't. If we can be one of that many that has life on it, what about planets that they don't breathe oxygen? They breathe carbon dioxide.
Yes. This is a big part of why we can't find aliens, because we look at it as if they have to go off the same things we do. They have to breathe air, they have to drink water, they have to eat food. That's no. We have to get past that.
We're looking for the obvious, which is something that looks like us. In some of Dolores's books, Convoluted Universe, they talks about spirits that she talks to where they say, we could focus in on a planet with our cameras and look at it, and it could look absolutely barren to us, but that's actually full of life because they vibrate at a frequency that they cannot be seen.
Believe it, yes.
Just like these aliens that we're talking about can appear and reappear.
Yes.
Because it's a vibrational thing.
Yes.
That will change space and time.
Yeah. That you bring up a good point, that a few things that are good if you're interested in learning more about aliens and how the spiritual community looks at them. Dolores Cannon, I just found this on Apple TV Plus, or you can find on YouTube. It's called UFO Chronicles, and it's Dolores Cannon talking about her work with UFOs. Definitely gonna watch that. So
yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. And then Stephen Greer, he's a ufologist. He founded the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, CE5 for short. And this is human-initiated contact and communication with extraterrestrial life.
Like what Sunshine was talking about, I believe.
Yeah. They claim to have over 3,000 confirmed reports of UFO sightings by pilots and over 4,000 of what they describe as landing traces. Greer founded the Disclosure Project, the goal of which is to publicly disclose the government's alleged knowledge of UFOs, extraterrestrial intelligence, and advanced energy and propulsion systems.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot what documentary he was on that we watched.
It was Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay.
I think you can find that on one of the streaming channels.
It was a really good one. He
Yeah,
takes groups of people. I don't know how you get involved with this, but he takes groups of people out to like the desert, very dark, where the sky is, very clear. It's trips out there in the evening, and they do like telepathic summonsing of close by beings that they actually get to fly overhead and sort of hover there and communicate with them. And one of them, he's actually got a photograph where one of them makes themselves appear next to somebody sitting by the fire.
Yes.
That's incredible.
That one cured that guy. I don't remember what it was.
Yes, there was something wrong with him. You're right.
I think he was blind. Maybe there was something, and when he woke up the next morning, I think he was blind. He could see.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And this thing never landed.
No.
Right? It never made a grand appearance.
No,
it just sort of appeared and then disappeared.
Yep.
Actually, I don't even know if they saw it with their own eyes. They just snapped
on the camera
a photo and got a shot of him. Mm-hmm. So that shows you that you can't see it with your naked eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty wild. I would love to do that someday. There's a website where you can go and like look it up, and they do this, I believe, all over the country. I had a pet sitting client that had done it, and they did not see anything the time that she went out, but she said it was quite the experience, very remote out in the middle of nowhere, but lots of fun because you're with people that have the same feelings that you do and want to, talk about the same things and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do that someday.
I would too.
Yeah. So I also asked our listeners, if aliens showed themselves on Earth and you could ask one of them any question, what would it be? Gabe said, please take me with you. Yeah, seriously. I think there's a lot of us that are going to be like, oh, me, take me.
That's a statement, not a question.
Well, yeah. No, it is a question. Please take me with you.
Can you take me with you?
You can please take me with you. Donna said, I'm sorry, we are idiots. Please forgive us, for we know not what we do. Help change the world for the better. Talk some sense into these people.
You only get one question?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, let's just say you only get one question, I don't know. And then Amanda said, I would like to know what they do for fun and if they have any pets. I too would apologize to them for our blind stupidity and selfish inclinations. I always wonder if there's a planet where the animals are the owners and like we're the pets. Wouldn't that be weird? Could happen. There could be, we never know.
Yeah.
I know it's going a little deep, but could happen. But yeah, that would be interesting to know if they have pets and that kind of thing, or if everybody's like on the same level, or how that work, for sure. Shauna said, I'd ask them what their world and history is like. I would have so many more questions. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they actually announced that there are aliens. We all know they're here at this point. Yeah, it would be interesting because they probably know a lot more than we know. Like, really, watching Ancient Aliens and all of the things that the aliens were probably somewhat involved in, they could tell us so much.
And some of these beings don't have a lifespan like we understand it. They don't, some of these beings can actually live as long as they want to.
Yeah.
Until they're just like, I feel like I've done my mission. And then you can go. It's that simple. Yeah. So can you think about that? Like somebody that's a being that's been alive since ancient pyramids in Egypt and is still buzzing around out there?
Yeah.
Because his work's not done or their work's not done?
And I really believe that they communicate more through telepathy than anything.
Oh, yeah.
And like that maybe they even, how we keep like all of our history in books and written down and in computers and stuff. I think that theirs is probably, in some kind of like bank, like memory bank. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing, but like, it's not written down. It's just there. It's the truth.
Right.
Like our books, they're not telling us a lot of the truth.
No.
The stuff that we learned in school, a lot of it's lies. But I feel like on other planets, that's not the case.
Right.
That it's like recorded,
Yeah, I'm not even sure. that everything we see in the sky is actually being operated by a being in it.
No.
You know, this thing could be very much like a drone. What we would compare to a drone. And then I've heard these theories too about the things that are living in them. Are they actually living?
Right.
Or are they their form of a robot?
Or like a hologram, maybe.
Or a hologram or whatever. But I would say more of like a, kind of like an organic looking robot.
Right. Yeah. Because their technology is way more sophisticated than ours. And we say they, and there could be planets that are like worse off than we are, but I don't know. Right. I tend to believe that this is, kind of as bad as it gets.
It could be, this could be somebody's game. Who knows? I mean, even if it is, if that's what we were told in the end. Yeah. You have to live it.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, you can't get out of it. Yeah. The only thing it does is crush your ego. Mm-hmm. I saw this really interesting TikTok video. I've seen a few of them where they zoom in with high-powered telescopes, like on suns.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this.
And some of these do some really interesting things. Mm-hmm. But one of them, I don't know what caused this, literally looks like a hand is wiping over it. Like creating its energy, like kind of swirling it.
Wow.
Because you see the shadow of the hand, and as soon as it goes away, it's like if you were put your hand over an overhead projector.
Yeah, wow.
You can just see the hand, the fingers and everything, and it kind of swirls the energy, and then the hand goes away, and it goes back to a full bright circle.
There was one that I saw also on TikTok. I don't know if you saw this one, but it was the sun, whether it was ours or another one, I don't know. But it was like something came up to the sun and attached itself to it and drew energy from it, like fuel almost for its ship. Wild.
Well, solar.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to live off solar.
Yeah.
According to some of the testimonies in Convoluted Universe, that there is life on suns.
Yeah, it's wild.
The atmosphere of a sun is nothing like the interior.
Right.
Or what you could live on.
Well, and again, we tend to think like humans.
Yes, and that we're thinking, a flesh would burn.
Yeah, but we don't know what these aliens have for flesh. Right. We don't know what they need to breathe or if they need to breathe at all. A lot
How quickly they could acclimate from one thing to another.
Right.
We don't know.
I'm pretty sure that Dolores Cannon said that some of them don't even eat.
Yeah, they live solely off the creator's energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's love. Yeah. And here we are just trying to access it, tap into it. But you know that you feel it, because when you feel it, it's like better than any vibration or high you've ever had in your life.
Yep.
It's an immense vibration and frequency that you can feel in yourself. These things live, some of them lives completely off that.
Yep.
No food, no water.
I believe it. Yep. I really think, too, that it's possible that we can reincarnate. Like, I don't know any reason why we couldn't be an alien.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Yeah. It just
you absolutely
makes
have.
Sense. Yeah. We just don't remember. Yeah. But it makes sense because, like, I don't really believe that the souls that are on Earth strictly stay on Earth. Mm-mm. There's no reason to believe that. It's all,
It's one of many schools.
Yeah.
It's probably the tougher school.
Yeah.
However, it's also one of the most beautiful schools.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's all learning.
It would be more beautiful if people respected it more.
Yes, but those beings, I try to remember that. Like, if they landed and I had to look at one, that's probably the hardest part, is like understanding something could be alive that's nothing like me, but is probably smarter than me.
Right.
And if I can just get past that, the same way that this planet has a hard time getting past the look of someone's skin color.
Yeah.
If I can get past that and feel comfortable, I could probably gain an immense amount from being around something that has that amount of knowledge and that kind of energy.
Yep, absolutely. That was actually for this question, what would you ask? Jared said, how long have humans been here and did you put us here? those are great questions.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that myself, Jared. Like, if I only had one, it would be either that, how did we get here, or how do we save this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's very possible. Like, even things in our ocean, there's some wild things in our ocean. I wonder if they come in on like meteors and stuff, like the fish, that are like gigantic with the big, what I'm talking about, the bottom of the ocean. Where did those come from?
We're out looking up in the skies also for other life and stuff. We've got videos, military videos of them going in the water.
Yes.
How do we know they don't live in our ocean?
We don't.
Our ocean is more undiscovered than our skies.
The ocean is amazingly big. We don't even realize how big it is. Yeah.
And then we have all the interior of the earth.
Yeah.
That we don't really use for the most part.
No, we don't.
Not on a grand scale.
No. Frank said, too many questions to pick from. Instead of asking the questions, maybe just listen to what they had to say. We talk too much to begin with.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that, because I really think that most of them would say to us, what are you guys doing? Like, you fight against each other for the color of your skin, for your sexual orientation, for everything, for your class, divided up into upper, middle, and lower class. Like, what are we doing? I have a feeling they would come here and just be like, just love each other and stop acting like this, but
I wish. Then I go, well, would that really do it?
I doubt it.
Like, if they came here and then left and said, we're going to come back in 5 years and see how you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Do you think it would stay that way? Or somebody, is going to be like, that's a bunch of baloney. It's our planet. We do what we want.
There's always people that, no matter how real it seems, are going to say it's not real. That it's somehow the government, even when it's not. There's always going to be people that aren't going to believe it. And that, we can't always, we can never be on the same page.
I'm sorry if I offend anybody by this statement, and that is, if you think that there is no other life anywhere in I don't know if it's an infinite universe, but there's only so much of it that we can view, and it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
If we are the only living thing, that is pure, utter ignorance.
Absolutely.
Utter ignorance.
Absolutely agree with you.
That will make the actual truth of it coming out even harder.
Yes.
When you embrace it as of like, I share this universe with others. And it's like, maybe the lesson is, before you guys can get off this ball and start, traveling interstellarly and discovering new worlds, you need to learn how to treat each other better.
Absolutely.
Because if you think you're going to get off this ball and get out there and start treating other life this way, we're not going to last very long.
Yep, absolutely. They're not afraid of us.
We won't get very far. But
they're not afraid of us because we don't know where they are. We can't go to them and blow their planet up. So they're not afraid of us. If they wanted to come here, somebody said it in there, I can't remember who it was. Yep. If they wanted to come here and blow us up, they would have already done it. There's no reason for that. We can coexist right along with them. And I honestly would appreciate any help that they would give this planet. And if this is a way to start a mass awakening, then that's what it needs to happen.
Yeah, we need to move on.
We do.
We've been the tyranny and the bull crap that's been shoved down this planet's throat for the last, I don't know, couple thousand years or whatever it is. We need to get over it.
Yeah.
The truth needs to come out.
Yep.
And the sooner that us all kind of subconsciously are requesting that, the sooner it will get here. The truth will come.
Absolutely it will. I feel like this planet is run by like 5 or 6 men that have seriously bad ego problems.
Yeah.
And we need something to come down here and say, this is not how this is done. It should not be because this man in Russia and this man in North Korea and one in China hate the one in the United States that they could possibly blow the planet up. They're not going to. I'm just saying this is stupid.
They could, but they won't.
They could, but they're not going to. But this is stupid. Like, why are we doing this? They need to come down here and say that. So fingers crossed that one day they do. It would be very helpful. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's going to cause mass hysteria. everything does. People run. I mean, you say that there's a pandemic coming and they run out and they buy toilet paper.
Right.
Like, what the? Sorry, but yeah, seriously, you know. So what happens if there's an alien invasion? What are they going to run out and buy that time?
Yeah.
So
I sort of imagine, what was that movie that we saw? I don't remember, but it was the red-haired lady from Enchanted.
So good. I was thinking about that movie.
And it's like this egg-shaped UFO that just all of a sudden shows up.
Yeah.
And it's hovering like, I don't know, 100 feet in the air. But just for days, like it doesn't... And I'm trying to just imagine that. Like people freaking out when they see this thing just all of a sudden come down and sit there.
Yes.
Quiet, silently.
Silently. That was a good movie. I'm trying to find what it was called because it was so good. But yeah, they literally try to figure out how to communicate with these aliens because they just sit there in their spaceship and they don't come out, and it's a weird kind of spaceship. The movie's really, really interesting.
Yeah, and they're, you know, you don't actually see the beings. They're kind of from in behind this big fogged up glass, but they're just sort of big appendages.
Yeah.
They look like tree trunks.
Yeah, it was very
almost,
strange.
and they would reach out their appendages and things, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
And
it really was.
Just the concept of how they did it, were they spot on with the kind of pandemonium? Well, it was out in the middle of the country, so it'd be different if that thing just kind of lowered itself above a major metropolitan city.
Yeah.
But this didn't have a lot of people out around it.
What was the name of the movie that you were saying that girl was in?
Enchanted.
Enchanted. I'm going to look it up because I can't remember what her name was. And if I can look up Amy Adams, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So Amy Adams UFO movie. Really, really worth watching.
It's not really gory or scary.
Arrival.
2016.
It's really good. So highly recommend it. It's 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. And we saw it in the theater, and I don't remember it feeling like it was 2.5 hours. It was really good. So, yeah. Close Encounters of the, what is it, Third Kind?
Third Kind.
Yeah, that's a good movie, too.
That's a great one.
Because it's not about, they're coming here to kill us.
No.
So, yeah, good UFO movies.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point, even if it's not our life, but this is part of it. We have to accept that y'all can believe what you want to believe, but we share this universe.
Yeah, we do.
And whatever we do has a resounding effect on the rest of the universe.
Yep.
So I try to keep that in mind.
I do too. Like a few of the listeners said, I'm kind of embarrassed, you know?
Why is that? Why would we be embarrassed when visitors come, but when they're not, then all of a sudden we're sticking to our guns?
Oh no, I'm embarrassed all the time. I'm embarrassed to live on this planet.
Oh, I know, but I mean, you know,
I really am.
The cowards that you'll see bow down when this does happen.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'll just be like, dude, I'm sorry.
I really hope that I see it in my life. I really do.
I do too. Yeah. Yep. For sure. So.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, there you go. What in the UFO?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Cool.
Before we say goodbye to everybody, would you like to share your information one more time?
Yes, so you can find me at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. I have a radio show that airs every Wednesday on VoiceAmerica.com on the Empowerment Channel at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a good time always. And you, sir?
Yes, for my art, one more time, djonesartcollection.com for the web, at djonesartcollection for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yay.
Well, anyways, we hope everybody got something out of this.
That we do.
And if you look up in the skies and you see some funny lights, don't worry.
Say hello. Give a wave.
Just think of them as your brother from another mother.
Yep.
You know?
There you go.
Give them a wave. Give them the old peace sign.
Yep.
Anyways, we hope you guys have a great week.
That we do.
And until next week.